Okay, 14.26. Mam cha yogya vicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam cha yo avyabhicharine. Charena. One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances. Avyabhicharena means without fail, unfailing in all circumstances. At once, bhakti yogena sevate, one who serves, sa gunan samatityaitan. He at once transcends the modes. And thus comes to the level of Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Okay. So the whole point here is unfailing, Abhyavichari Bhakti. This verse is reply to Arjuna's third question. So he asks, how does one transcend the modes? For which Krishna is answering, by Abhyavichari Bhakti. So by engaging unfailing in all circumstances, meaning irrespective of what the situation is, engaging in devotional service. This verse is a reply to Arjuna's third question. What are the means of attaining to the transcendental position? As explained before, the material world is acting under the spell of the modes of material nature. One should not be disturbed by the activities of the modes of nature. One should not be disturbed by the activities of modes of nature, which are the three modes. They, because of them, then we will have karma phala, then we'll have, vasana situations will come, we will behave in certain ways, we have to deal with certain things. So many things are there in this material world. But Prabhupada is saying, don't be disturbed by these activities. Instead of putting his consciousness into such activities, oh, what a powerful statement. Instead of putting his consciousness into such activities, he may transfer his consciousness to Krishna activities. So, this is actually we should just meditate on this statement. See, whenever we, all of us, pretty much everybody we have our own situations, right, that trouble us, and we keep thinking about it. We keep trying to get solutions. Sometimes we are frustrated. Sometimes we say, no, why I have to go through so much of difficulty to do bhakti? I'm not doing anything wrong. See, other people have such nice situations, etc., etc., etc. Prabhupada is making a wonderful statement. He's saying, instead of putting consciousness into such activities, instead of investing our mind in thinking about these things, which are not in our control at all, one should transfer his consciousness to Krishna activities. So instead of wasting our energy thinking about things that we cannot in any way influence, why don't we think about Krishna? What do you think? Can we do this? What are the challenges for us to transfer our consciousness to Krishna instead of putting our consciousness in material activities? Is it possible, not possible? Friday evening, everybody is like...
We can try, Prabhuji, but sometimes, like immediately we may not be able to, I may not be able to, I am not able to do actually.
No, but we should try to think about this. What is the obstacle? What is the obstacle? What is preventing us from doing?
So in some situations like...
No. Think about what is preventing us. What is the root cause? Today, what is preventing us from transferring our consciousness from material things to Krishna?
Okay. Mostly entanglement.
Entanglement. Attachment. So
That's
we are
right.
attached to these material things. So simple thing is to just give up that attachment. So that is the root cause. The root cause is not that we cannot disconnect ourselves, not that we cannot transfer our consciousness to Krishna, but because we think that that material activity is so important for us that we are so attached to it, we think that sincerely we think that we are the doers. Right? If I don't put the effort, nothing will happen. So this false ego, we are in this ignorance. So combined all these things, we fail to transfer our consciousness to Krishna. Instead, we are happily situated. Not happily. After years of continuous attempt, then when we get frustrated, then we will give up. In Bhagavatam, there is this discussion about this, Pingala. She's a prostitute. She's waiting for customers, and she keeps waiting till midnight, and nobody comes. Then she says, "Forget it. I'm frustrated." And then she suddenly develops so much detachment that she gives up this whole thing and becomes a devotee of Krishna. So when things go over our head, when we go underwater, that is the time to actually transfer consciousness to Krishna, because anyway we know that nothing, how much ever I do, I'm going to drown. Why bother at all? Actually, it's amazing, going through difficulties actually teaches us this repeatedly. Okay. Krishna activities are known as Bhakti Yoga, always acting for Krishna. This includes not only Krishna, but his different plenary expansions such as Rama and Narayana. He has innumerable expansions. One who is engaged in the service of any of the forms of Krishna or his plenary expansions is considered to be transcendentally situated. One should also note that all forms of Krishna are fully transcendental, blissful, full of knowledge, and eternal. Such personalities of Godhead are omnipotent and omniscient, and they possess all transcendental qualities. So if one engages himself in the service of Krishna or his plenary expansions with unfailing determination, although those modes of nature are very difficult to overcome, one can overcome them easily. So this is the secret. So this unfailing determination is the secret. So now how are we going to develop this unfailing determination? Any thoughts?
With the desire.
Okay, one is desire. Another very important one. With the right association. With the right association. If we associate with devotees who have unfailing determination, then we see from them, we learn from them, we ask them, we hear from them, and then we understand, oh, okay, this devotee is able to do all this in spite of his condition. Okay, why can't I do? My situation seems better. So association and desire, because sometimes even if you have desire, we might not immediately have the strength nor guidance nor how to do it. So it's very important to have the right kind of association. So Prabhupada is saying one can very easily overcome, though it is very difficult. Really, I mean, this is such a powerful purport. This has already been explained in the 7th chapter. One who surrenders unto Krishna at once surmounts the influence of the modes of material nature. Another beautiful statement. One who surrenders, he already transcends. Why? Because Krishna has said, Rakshishati Vishwaso. He's going to protect. To be in Krishna consciousness or in devotional service means to acquire equality with Krishna. And Krishna says that Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan, Se Kale Krishna Kare Tara Sama, something like that. And Krishna considers the devotee who has got initiated, who surrendered to Guru, as equal to him. So when one becomes equal to Krishna, then what is the question of modes? Where is the question of modes? But the problem is we don't surrender. That is the whole problem. The Lord says that his nature is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge, and the living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme, as gold particles are part of a gold mine. Thus, the living entity in his spiritual position is as good as gold, as good as Krishna in quality. The difference of individuality continues, otherwise there would be no question of bhakti yoga. Okay, difference of individuality continues, which means that we don't merge into the Lord. So we are there, Lord is there. So there is bhakti. There is bhakti means there is bhakti, Bhagavan, Bhakta. Three things. Prabhupada is saying. Bhakti yoga means that the Lord is there, the devotee is there, and the activity is exchange of love between the Lord and devotee is there. Therefore, the individuality of two persons is present in the Supreme Person of Godhead and the individual person. Otherwise, there would be no meaning to bhakti yoga. If one is not situated in the same transcendental position with the Lord, one cannot serve the Supreme Lord. So this is the Brahma Bhuta stage. Brahma Bhuta Prasanna Atma na Svachati na Kankshati. Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakti Labate Saram Labate Param. So Brahma Bhuta is Brahman stage, which is Adhyatman, as in it is beyond this material world. So it's Lord's transcendental position. To be a personal assistant to a king, one must acquire the qualifications. That's the qualification to become Brahman, is to become Brahman, or freed from all material contamination. And it is said in the Vedic literature, Brahmaiva san Brahmapyeti. One can attain the Supreme Brahman by becoming Brahman. This means that one must qualitatively become one with Brahman. By attainment of Brahman, one does not lose his eternal Brahman identity as an individual soul. Wherever Prabhupada gets an opportunity, he wants to blast Mayavadis, so he keeps doing that. So basically, just rereading the translation, one who engages in full devotional service. Full devotional service, Prabhupada has translated, Bhakti Yogena. Not just devotional service, full devotional service. Meaning not half-hearted or not, full, however you want to understand that. Unfailing, full and unfailing. So you have to just remember these two. You have to engage in full devotional service, and we should be unfailing in all circumstances. So secret is out here. We have to just follow it. That is the challenge. Okay. So if there are any questions we can discuss at the end, we will just finish this one last verse of this chapter and finish 14th chapter. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya ikantikasya cha. And I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman. Krishna is saying, don't call me impersonal. I am the basis of the impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. Yes, Brahman is Prasannatma. One becomes Prasanna. Sukhasya Aikantikasya. The stage of ultimate happiness, Brahman. Yes. But that Brahman, I am the basis for the Brahman. So that whole ultimate happiness, it resides in me, not in Brahman. It is there in Brahman because it is coming from me. The constitution of Brahman is immortality, imperishability, eternity, and happiness. Brahman is the beginning of transcendental realization. Paramatma is the middle, second stage, and Supreme Person of Godhead is the ultimate realization of absolute truth. Therefore, both Paramatma and impersonal Brahman are within the Supreme Person. It is explained in the 7th chapter that material nature is the manifestation of the inferior energy of the Lord. The Lord impregnates the inferior material energy with fragments of superior nature, that is jivas. That is the spiritual touch in the material nature. And living entity conditioned by this material nature begins the cultivation of spiritual knowledge. He elevates himself from the position of material existence and gradually rises up to the Brahman conception. So from Ado Shraddha to Brahma Bhuta. This attainment of Brahman conception of life is the first stage in self-realization. At this stage, the Brahman realized person is transcendental to the material position, but is not actually perfect in Brahman realization. So he's just become transcendental. That means that he is able to go above the modes. That is Brahma Bhuta. But it is not perfection. And this is just the beginning. This is the first stage. Now, where are we? We are still not yet reached Brahma Bhuta. So we are far away from perfection. But the beauty is that we have taken to the path of bhakti. So bhakti is so powerful that a process which might otherwise take multiple lifetimes, thousands of lifetimes maybe, with bhakti we can achieve in one lifetime. This is the beauty. So we don't have to be discouraged saying that we have not yet reached Brahma-bhuta. It's okay, we will reach in period of time, no doubt about it. If he wants, he can continue to stay in Brahman position and then gradually rise up to Paramatma and then to the realization of Supreme Lord. There are many examples of this in Vedic literature. The 4 Kumaras were situated first in the impersonal Brahman, but then they gradually rose to the platform of devotional service. One who cannot elevate himself beyond the impersonal conception of Brahman runs the risk of falling down. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that although a person may rise to the stage of impersonal Brahman, without going further, with no information of Supreme Person, his intelligence is not perfectly clear. Therefore, in spite of being raised to the Brahman platform, there is the chance of falling down if one is not engaged in devotional service to the Lord. In Vedic language, it is said, Raso Vaisaha, Rasam Shiyevayam Labdvanandi Bhavati. When one understands the personality of Godhead, the reservoir of pleasure, Krishna, he actually becomes transcendently blissful. This all of us would have experienced, right? We all experience transcendental happiness. But unfortunately, it is very short-lived for us because we are not engaging so much time in bhakti. The Supreme Lord is full in 6 opulences, and when a devotee approaches him, there is an exchange of these 6 opulences. The servant of the king enjoys on an almost equal level with the king. And so eternal happiness, imperishable happiness, and eternal life accompany devotional service. And also the opulences also. But the devotee doesn't want all these opulences, so he doesn't get it. Therefore, realization of Brahman or eternity or imperishability is included in devotional service. It is already possessed by a person who is engaged in devotional service. Not one who has achieved perfection. One who is engaged in devotional service will reach Brahman. Meaning realization of Brahman. The living entity, although Brahman by nature, has the desire to lord it over material world, and due to this he falls down. And this is the whole cause. This is the whole problem. Is this whole lording it over business. And this lording it over is so simple. Example, somebody did some, suppose you are cooking or somebody is cooking, and say there is some less salt in whatever was cooked. As soon as we eat it, we'll react. Oh, how can you not put salt into this? Or why there is little salt, less salt? This is lording it over mentality. Unless our mood is, oh, Krishna had to eat without salt. Oh, that's so sad. If that is not the mood, but the mood is, oh, why there is no salt? Then it is like, why I am given food like this, which means that there's no respect, there's no honor for prasadam, nothing. So this lording over nature, while we might not think about it so deeply, it's deeply entrenched. So that is why we are stuck actually, because when we are taken to the path of bhakti is so powerful that if we give up all these anarthas willingly, and then we can very quickly, easily reach the final stage. But we want to lord it over still. In his constitutional position, the living entity is above the 3 modes of material nature. But association with the material nature entangles him in different modes. Due to the association of these modes, his desire to dominate his world is there. By engagement in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, he is immediately situated in the transcendental position, and his unlawful desire to control material nature is removed. But for this, it has to be full devotional service, full Krishna consciousness, not semi-Krishna consciousness. So it will take time because now we are partially Krishna conscious. So when we reach the stage of full Krishna consciousness, then our unlawful desire to control material nature will get removed. Therefore, the process of devotional service should be practiced in the association of devotees. Gradually, by such association, by the influence of the spiritual master, one's material desire to dominate is removed, and one becomes firmly situated in the Lord's transcendental service. Now, again, this association. Now, if you associate with devotees who are trying to also lord it over, then you're not going to get over this mindset. We have to associate with devotees who are gotten over this lording over business, who are done with material life. When we engage with such devotees, then we will get there, be influenced by them, and then we will also give up our lording over mentality. Right? This method is described from the 22nd to the last verse of this chapter. Devotional service to the Lord is very simple. One should always engage in the service of the Lord, should eat the remnants of foodstuffs offered to the deity, smell the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, see the places where the Lord had his transcendental pastimes, read of the different activities of the Lord, his reciprocation of love with his devotees, chant always the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and observe the fasting days commemorating the appearances and disappearances of the Lord and his devotees. By following such a process, one becomes completely detached from all material activities. Just see what Prabhupada is saying. One is service of the Lord should eat remnants, smell flowers, go visit dhams, do shravanam, and chant Hare Krishna, then fast, celebrate festivals. That's it. If we do this, then we become completely detached from material activities. One who can thus situate himself in Brahma Jyoti of the different varieties of the Brahman conception is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in quality. So this has to be our meditation, unfailing, full devotional service. If we can just engage in this, then we will achieve perfection in this life without doubt. Unfailing and full devotional service, and engage with the right kind of devotees. So I think these are the key. Okay. Anybody has any questions? So with this we finish chapter 14. But amazing purports actually. So actually these purports, when we are reading in the association of devotees, actually Krishna gives more mercy to understand the purports. It has more impact. Okay. I'm done.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
One question regarding lording over, is it also accumulating more than necessary and over endeavoring for sense gratification? Does it also come under lording over materially?
I mean, anything to do with material enjoyment is lording over.
To increase our sense gratification, we think we are the lord of everything.
Yeah. So lording over means basically we are trying to enjoy here, and anything. I mean, like for example, I'll give a very trivial example. Yeah, clear examples are going behind material position, wealth, whatever possessions, etc. A simple small thing I'll say. For example, say the toothpaste that we want to use. We will go to the shop. We'll make sure that we will buy only that brand of toothpaste. Okay. And in case, say, for whatever reason, in the house, 2 different brands were there and whatever we wanted was over and we were given the other one, then we'll say, no, I don't want this. This is lording over. Simple thing like a toothpaste, toothbrush, we start from there. We want to lord over every piece, every inch. That is what Prabhupada says, of everything that we survey. Survey means that whatever comes in, we come across. We want to have a view, we want to possess it, we want to experience it our way. And this is lording over.
Right.
How many of us think of,
Prabhuji, if you are,
yeah.
no, you complete your point.
No, I was saying things like, for example, kind of what watch I wear, what color, what clothes I wear, what chappal I wear. I mean, every small, big thing where we want to express a choice, we have a taste, and it's nothing connected to Krishna. These are all lording over mentality.
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, when you are surrounded by like such an atmosphere, like where people are always engrossed in this thing, so how do you like come out? Give me some
Yeah,
practical tips. Although I,
yeah. So basically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Raghunath Das Goswami. He told Raghunath Das Goswami, you go to your house, be just like a karmi from outside. Okay, do all your duties, engage like nothing. I mean, just life is normal. Okay, but internally, deeply engage in thinking about Krishna. So, see, over a period of time, these things we should understand. Okay, let me answer this way. When we know that we are in a situation which is not going to change, the first step to overcoming that situation is acceptance. Okay, so once we accept saying that, okay, yeah, this is my family, this is how it is, these are the people I'm going to live with for the rest of my life, and yeah, they are all, for example, say, okay, they're all sense gratifiers, and I'm stuck here. Yes, Krishna wants us to be here. Now, why? Krishna only knows, and we will know over a period of time. So first thing is we should accept, yes, okay, this is what it is, fine. So I will, and I have to do my duty, fine, I will do my duty and make it look as natural as possible, but I'm not going to get affected by any of this, right? So for this, strong sadhana is required, strong association is required. And what kind of association? Association of those devotees who are mature, who can tell us how to deal with our situations. That is important. And strong sadhana. You should put, if any of you are in such difficult situation, your sadhana, your chanting should be like, you should be literally crying in chanting. Because see, chanting is the most powerful process. And the more we cry in chanting, the more we are begging for mercy, the more mercy we will get. As simple as that. And how will that mercy come, in what shape, form, that Krishna knows. We don't know. But he will show the mercy. So it actually doesn't matter. See, this is the whole point, right? What Krishna is saying here is unfailing in all circumstances, meaning nobody can take away our absorption in Krishna. Nobody, right? So it is so powerful that it cannot be touched by anybody. Externals can be touched. Internals, nothing, right? Nobody can stop me from thinking about Krishna, from chanting his name. Even if I am not chanting loudly, I can still chant his name, softly or in my mind. So, see, we should understand one thing, Mataji. Actually, these difficult situations are an impetus for intense sadhana, right? And those who don't have difficult situations, they cannot understand this. They cannot understand this. They cannot understand how, in one way, unfortunate they are, that they cannot get into Tivra Bhakti. Only those who are in difficult situations only will go into Tivra Bhakti. And they will achieve perfection much faster. There is no doubt.
I got your point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Hari.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Anything? Okay. Fine, then we'll end today. So we are done with 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 4 chapters to finish Bhagavad Gita. 15 is super technical. Then after 16, 17, 18 will be pretty straightforward. I think a lot of stuff anyway. I mean, we'll take our time to discuss so that we understand the purpose nicely. And post that we'll start Bhagavatam, Krishna willing. Okay. And maybe, I don't know how all of you are placed, but if we start Bhagavatam, I'm thinking we will do half an hour every day. We'll discuss that at that point of time. Okay. So for now, maybe we can conclude if nobody has anything else to say. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasinubhyo cha patitanam bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.